In this tutorial I'm going to look at the drums of this dance track, so I'm going to start off with this little bit here called roll. Put that in solo, might help, there we go. And the way you can see that that's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the beat, and then I'm going into 8 notes there and then 16 notes there. But at the end here I'm going into 32 notes, and the way I do that is if you come up here you can put this onto custom, and then that will reveal this little bit here, and I can change that there. If I change that to 32, it will change the appearance of the grid, so you can get the pencil and start to draw notes in there. So that's a little drum roll there over sort of 4 bars. You have to play along. And that's using this. You'll have already downloaded the session file, but that is on E1, so that little snare drum's on E1. Now the drums here are just looped around, so this 1 bar loop, if you can recreate this, then you've got a kick drum on C1, a snare drum on D1, and a little kind of shaker on F sharp 2, and that's all there is to that beat. So that just grooves along all the way through the track. I've made that a block and then I've just looped it. If we come to the next drum loop, that's kind of similar to the last one, so you can cut and paste that over 4 bars, but then it's just got this little bar 50 there. I'll just put this little, and that is right on, if I change that to 16s, that is right on the 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 4th division of the fourth beat. So that on the, really that's this, you know, if these are 16s, divisions of 16, that's right on the 16 there. So that just gives a little push into the next section, which is like a nice little trick there. And again, these drums I just cut and paste, and just exactly the same as what's going on here. If we come down to the next track, we've got this boutique drum, and these are just doing the same thing all the way through. There's no difference in these drums really, and this has got a deeper kick, so I'm actually doubling up. This is quite common in dance music to like layer your kicks and things like that. So that's F2 on this boutique 909. So I've just made one little part there, 1 bar, and loop that over. If you look there, you can see the little loop thing. So, and that starts at bar 9. Let's zoom out a little bit, and I've just put in these little hi-hat parts as well. So, and with this, I believe that's got a little bit of swing on it. So I put quantized 16A, and let's just zoom in a little bit more. It's not doing anything complicated. That's all it's doing there. So so 1, 3, 4. So it really is just that. That's all you need to program. Cut and paste it across. I could even get away with that, couldn't I? So I could even just do 1 beat there, and then loop it. That's all it's doing. And let's just see what it sounds like with this one. So it just adds something to it there. The next drum part is this tambourine. Again, it's just loop round, and it is just on the, doesn't even have to be that long, this notes, so let's make them a little bit shorter. This is just a tambourine on the 2 and the 4. That's all it's doing. It just adds something. I like to add a tambourine onto snare drums. It just brings out a bit more brightness. The shaker is just an Apple loop, and that is Apple loop shaker 1. If you go into Apple loops and search for shaker, you'll find shaker 1, and that's all that is. So I don't like to use too many Apple loops, but the shakers are pretty good. So and that adds a little bit of of urgency to the beat, I think you could describe it as. So let's have a listen to that. Let's take that out, and that's with it in. On the Bluebird here, we've got a crash, and it's just, oh, it's not even quantized, is it, that one? Let's just quantize that, press Q, and off it goes. And that's on A2. So just come back to the tambourine. That tambourine is on the Latin kit and is on F sharp 2. And I'm just putting the tambourine all the way through. If you look at this, tambourine all the way through. And I'm also putting in the crash on every, what's that, 8, on every 8 bars there. Just coming in, introducing the next section. And that is all the drums. Now this is going, the main drums start on bar 9 and go up to 41. And then on 45 we get that second roll, which is essentially just that, more or less copied over, but then there is that little gap and it goes into that. So that really could be, I could do that like that, and that might make it look a bit more sense. So that's on its own, a little gap, and then it has that little push, and then it goes back into the beat from bar 51 up to bar 67. So have a look at that and see if you can recreate that. It's pretty straightforward. It's just using lots of loops and lots of looping and dragging it out. So just create those little parts and see how you get on.